Cathy.
I'm Rachel, and this is Luna Bear Book Club.
And this is Raven.
This is Raven.
Hello, so we are filming today in Rachel's house.
Woo!
Hence we have Raven with us and no Orla. Today we are continuing our fan versus first time reader series, and we are looking at Fables.
Ooh, Cathy, what's Fables?
Fables is a comic series where fairy tale characters and creatures, they've had to escape and formed a secret community in New York, and they're living in hiding because their fairy tale worlds have been taken over by the adversary.
Wah, wah, wah.
I've been a long time fan of this series, and I've been slowly working my way through the volumes for many years, and Rachel has just started reading them.
Yeah, I am the first time reader in this
first
fan versus first time reader video.
So in a previous video we looked at Rachel's reactions to reading Fables Volume 1. This time we're looking at Volumes 2 and 3. So Volume 2 is Animal Farm and Volume 3 is Storybook Love.
I'll hold this one.
You hold that one.
We were going to talk about Volumes 4 and 5, but I haven't read them because I'm slow.
Oh look, oh, we're almost like coordinated like colour-wise to the volumes we're holding.
You're more colourful with the scary bloody animals.
Yes.
And I'm more dark with the
Wolf.
with the wolf. Ooh, moody.
So this is a really fun comic series. I really love it. We'll give a brief overview of both plots, and then we're going to ask Rachel some questions about how she's found reading it. There will be spoilers.
Yeah.
So, Animal Farm mainly focuses on Rose Red and Snow White going upstate to visit the farm. And that's where all the Fables live who don't look human, who can't pass as ordinary beings in what they call the Monday ordinary world. And when Rose and Snow go there, they realise that there's currently a secret revolution about to begin where some of the farm inhabitants want to violently take over the Fables community and change all the rules. And Snow and Rose Red have to like fight their way out of that. Then in Storybook Love, how do you describe Storybook Love?
Storybook Love, it doesn't really have a running story in it. It's more vignettes of different love stories within the Fable community.
Yeah, I guess the main one in Storybook Love that kind of connects to the main story is that Bluebeard bewitches Snow and Bigby.
There's some small people spying on Bluebeard,
Yeah.
and he sees them and thinks, Bigby and Snow are spying on me because they don't trust me. I've got to get them out of here. So he puts a spell on them, makes them go into the wilderness, and Goldilocks is going out there to kill them.
Yes.
To stop them
Stopping Bluebeard.
stopping Bluebeard, and I assume Goldilocks because obviously she's staying in his house, and she was one of the radical people in the animal uprising in
Yes.
Animal Farm.
I think that's enough of a plot summary.
Yeah.
So, overall, how did you get on reading these volumes?
I enjoyed them. Yeah. Sorry, that was quite a short answer. I think obviously my issue with the first one is that I didn't really read it properly. I just kind of looked at the text and then ignored the pictures.
Yeah.
But so before I read these for this video, I did reread the first one, so I think I got more out of it that time. And I read the story at the back of the book, which is about Bigby Wolf coming into the Fable community instead of just living in the adversary world. Which actually, so he's not allowed in Animal Farm.
Yeah.
Which if I hadn't read that short story at the end of the first one, him not being there, I would have been like, well, why hasn't he gone?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Bigby, the big bad wolf, he's not allowed to visit the farm because he's terrorised so many of them in the past.
That's just his nature though, isn't it? He's a predator.
In Animal Farm, the animals and other magical beings are kind of having an uprising because part of their community rules is that they have to stay on the farm. And the farm is like quite a lot of land. It's like at least 20 miles plus. But the fairy tale characters are immortal. Like they live forever until something really bad kills them. So actually living with just that time for such a long time means that they're fed up and they want to be able to go wherever they want. So did you feel like you had some sympathy for the uprising?
100%. And Snow White comes up and she's there like, oh, but you have it so nice here. I wish that I could come and live on this farm. Well, do it then. You're living in the high life in New York, living in normal society, and you're coming out here like, oh, you shouldn't feel so bad about living on the farm. It's really nice. You live here then. You live here forever then, not seeing anybody. In this small, isolated community for hundreds and hundreds of years with this same group of people forever.
Yeah.
And then the giants, they don't even live, they're in a magically induced coma, the giants and the dragon.
Yeah.
How is that fair?
Yeah, it's not. I think this also shows Snow White's naivety, which is like quite a big theme, I think, in Animal Farm, where she is a bit blinded to some of the realities of what's going on around her.
She's got that Monday passing privilege.
Yeah, she does. She does. And I think I didn't pick up on it the first time reading through the series, but going back, I'm getting a real sense of these guys have been stuck in our world for centuries, so they have got into ruts, and they perhaps aren't very self-aware, and they're all a bit stuck, and like change is needed. But then the Fables very quickly turn on their own, even in the uprising. It's like, how did you feel about Colin the pig?
Colin was killed by his siblings.
Yeah, he was
To send a message to Snow, like, not even. What? That was very gruesome.
Yeah, it's a bit shockingly gruesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because so far, like, you've got siblings falling out, they've interrupted a meeting, blah, blah. And the next thing you know is like, oh, there's a pig head on a stick. And a very kind of sweet pig too.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about Bigby and Snow?
I don't really know. Obviously I love romance, so I'm like, yeah, that's cute. I'm not sure. I think in my head I'm a bit like, oh, it's like imprinted in Twilight. It's a bit gross, isn't it? But also, these are people that have known each other for a very long time.
Yes.
And it's interesting to me that Bigby has chosen now to actually be more brazen about his feelings, unless obviously we come into this story now, so we're seeing it from the beginning. But
yeah.
Snow is very, I think Snow doesn't seem, she's a bit surprised by it, I think.
Yeah.
And I know, so in Storybook Love, I'm just bringing it to Storybook Love, sorry.
Yeah, no.
In the Snow and Bigby one, he's got so many cigarette butts in his ashtray, and the first time that I saw that picture, I was like, wow, that's a lot of cigarette butts, my guy. But then it turns out that he's doing that to like deaden his senses to the world, because he does have really sensitive hearing and smell and things like that. But obviously he can't get rid of the smell of snow. So I'm like, cute.
Yeah. It was intriguing to me rereading it this time, because we'd talked about the first volume. You said that very early on that Snow felt like a very lonely character, and she's very isolated, which I didn't really pick up on the first time reading. But this time coming in, I'm like, wow, that's exactly what Bigby knows about Snow, that she's really isolated and has been hurt a lot by people in the past, so keeps herself to herself, and is like even jealous of Beauty and the Beast because they've managed to keep their marriage working all these years.
And I think especially because she is keeping the community running, which is a huge thing to have on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And obviously Bigby is also a civil servant, so he understands how lonely that can be, being in charge and being responsible for people. So I think they're a really good match, and I think they're cute. And obviously Snow's now pregnant.
Yes. This is not a slow burn romance, is it?
I mean, technically it is, because, well, no, I suppose there's like this whole year of convalescence, because Snow gets shot in the head at the end of Animal Farm, and then he's very quickly, she's in a coma, she can barely walk. So they've had that time where Bigby has been looking after her, which we haven't really seen. We've only seen like very short snapshots of it.
Yeah.
So they have had that time where obviously they've got hundreds of years of history, but I think after the events of Legends in Exile, they are even more closely tied, I suppose.
And I love that. Like the big scary wolf, but being really tender towards Snow White and looking after her. I love all their scenes together. So even Snow White's big recovery kind of pulls in like a central thing in Fables, where because these are magical characters and their magic and power comes from Mundy's believing in them. So they are really hard to kill. And I quite like that in a way everybody's got plot armour.
Yeah.
But it's really well explained plot armour. So Snow's shot in the head, but she survives. And even like when they try and kill Goldilocks, it's a really gruesome sequence of events.
Yeah, they like beat her and hit her with things, and then they push her off a cliff, and she still gets up, and then I think she gets hit by a truck or
She
something.
gets hit by a truck.
And I mean, is she dead? We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's even a bit where, in this as well, Prince Charming kills Bluebeard. And then he wraps him in a carpet and he brings him and he says he's going to put him down the wishing well. Can't remember if the wishing well is in book 1.
I don't think so.
No. So that's the first time the wishing well's hinted towards, and the wishing well is one of the ways that the Fables can get rid of one another.
Okay. I'm quite sad about Bluebird dying because
Did you like this?
in Animal Farm, so Snow and Rose go up to the farm and then they need backup. So Boy Blue, Bluebeard, Flycatcher, and Jack go up in this car, and they're just bickering and falling out. And I thought it was a really fun dynamic. And then in one of the Storybook Love ones, the Sleeping Beauty one, it's them, and then Big B joins their crew of people who are like, they're not useless. They are doing their job and they are succeeding, but in such a foolhardy manner, I suppose is the term I'm going to use. So I really enjoyed their silly dynamic as a group, and now Bluebird's not there as like the straight man, so I'm quite sad.
Yeah, I get that. I also really enjoyed the team.
And Prince Charming is in there as well, so I can't remember exactly who he's in.
How are you feeling about Prince Charming?
I think he's a good character.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah. I think that's how you're meant to feel.
Yeah.
Like he's entertaining, but you wouldn't want him in your life.
No. But yeah, he's there to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that. I liked how this is completely unrelated, but in Animal Farm, so on their way up to the farm, Snow White's in this kind of like outdoorsy romper. Yeah. This brown romper. And then the next day she puts on a different change of clothes, which is exactly the same, apart from it's got lots of black fringe on it. And I really liked that detail. That was really funny.
Yeah, I've noticed a few more details this time. Like in one of them, when the boys are hanging out together about to do something, they're all reading comic books. And Flycatcher, when he's reading a comic book, the main character on top of his comic book is his romantic interest in the future.
Really?
Yeah. I won't say who it is, but I did not spot that.
I can't even. Kathy's got the book now, so I can't even go and look at it.
I'm not gonna let you.
I did like how the comic books they were reading were fairy tale comic books, and I think obviously they're walking through New York, but they're going into shops that are run by Fables, and their shop names are like plays on words and things. I thought that was really cool. I can't remember any specific ones, but I did notice it. Yeah, and I liked it.
Yes, there's a lot to notice when you slow down to look at the pictures. Yeah. Which is like something we've both had to learn. How do you feel about Buffkin the monkey? Because there's a bit in this where Buffkin is left alone in the office. Yeah. And then he changes the name of Fabletown to something else, and
he thinks he's in control.
He's really funny. And then he gets really drunk, and then he gets the sworn knight really drunk, who then starts prophesying.
But why is he allowed in New York? Yeah. He's a flying monkey, and I know that he never leaves the office or whatever, but
then he does, doesn't he? Because he gets in the car at one point.
Does he?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't remember.
Just bitten him in the car because he's saying like, why can't I drive? And I think because you're a monkey.
Yeah, he goes up to the farm with them, I think.
Yeah, maybe because he's going to the farm, he's allowed out. Yeah, the rules they're not very...
If there's someone who you can do all of your mundane, boring work, or your scut, then yeah, they can stay around.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Oh. Also, I found the scenes with the little spy and his mouse.
Oh, really? The mouse died, and then did the guy die? I don't remember.
The guy makes it.
But yeah, I really liked the mouse and the mouse rider. They were really cute, and then one of them died, and it was sad, and the other one, his fate is possibly unknown, or maybe I've just forgotten.
Yeah, no, I think it's unknown at this point. But I think that's what I love about this series. Like, you know, you meet a little guy and a mouse for like a page, and you're invested.
Yeah, because even within that page, they've got character.
It's fast working comics. Like, I think that's something that can be really easily overlooked. But like, they have like a page to make a big impact, to do a lot of storytelling and character building and world building, and they've got a page to do it in.
I liked how, this is, again, not really related. So sometimes when someone was recounting what happened, the backgrounds of what happened were fully detailed, and then we'd cut back to that person who was telling the story or reminding someone of what happened, and they just had like a solid block colour background. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know how they do it, how they coordinate like what's going to be written, what's going to be shown, and how you do it all. It's a real art, and I think it's impressive. Any predictions for what might happen next?
Well, Snow's pregnant.
Snow's pregnant.
So she's going to have a baby. What are the repercussions going to be from Bluebeard being killed? Will Bluebeard's wealth is now in the Fabletown coffers?
Yeah.
Prince Charming is trying to become mayor, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't think he will. Oh, but see, I don't trust King Cole either, because in the story at the end of Legends in Exile, the one about Bigby coming to join Fabletown, he's visited by Snow and a man who's smoking a pipe, and King Cole is smoking. He has lots of pipes in his artwork, but it's never said, oh, this is King Cole. So it might not be King Cole, it might be somebody else that I haven't met. But he said to Bigby that you can't eat, you won't like the taste of me. And it's established in that story at the end that Bigby, obviously Bigby is a wolf, he eats people. But when he eats minions of the adversary, they taste foul and he doesn't like eating them. Is that what Feathertop meant when he said you won't like eating me? Or is it something else? And if it is King Cole, maybe it was just in the past that he was working for the adversary, but maybe it is still, maybe he's a double agent. I don't know. So I don't have any predictions. I'm suspicious.
Okay. Would you like to make any more guesses on who the adversary is?
No.
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 Okay.
But the big dragon in Animal Farm is turned into a fire-breathing crow.
Yeah.
But then there's a short comic or a taster of a comic at the end of Legends in Exile that is about a fire-breathing crow fighting against the adversary in the homelands.
Ooh.
Is that a flash forward? Is it a flashback? Is there more than one fire-breathing crow?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to reread that.
I have no idea. I think it's called something like Peter and Max or something. I don't know. I also, this is going to annoy you, I don't know how to feel about Boy Blue. He kind of annoys me.
He's annoying you.
Yeah, I think I don't like his swagger. Maybe once we see him and Snow White interacting more as a pair, which I'm assuming will come in later books, because obviously he's kind of like her assistant.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll like him more then, but I don't know. I like the Flycatcher. I think he's sweet.
He's really sweet, isn't he?
He's sweet.
Oh, when he kisses Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah. Oh, we love Fly.
Oh, I'm just trying to think who the adversary could be. I have to have a guess. I need to have a guess.
Okay, have a guess. Just one name. Because I'm going to ask you, and there's 22 books.
The last time I said Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
This time I'm going to say the Mad Hatter.
The Mad Hatter.
I don't know.
That's a good guess. So those were our thoughts on Fables Volume 2 and Volume 3. Are you going to continue the series?
Yeah!
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do like and subscribe. We release new videos every Friday, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!
See Raven's nose.